Hey y'all, this your girl Lady V, and I'm coming to you with a recorded podcast of A Long Walk in High Heels. This is a podcast for women and the men who care about women and women's issues. So, this episode, guys, I want to talk about sisterhoods, our relationships, our meaningful relationships that we have with other women. Um, a lot of times, these relationships with other women, our besties, right, are more meaningful than the relationships we have with our significant others. But what do you do when the relationship gets fractured? How do you act? How do you recover? How do you process? Like, it's easy. I don't want to say, I'm not diminishing anything, but it's easy when we're in an intimate relationship with someone and there's betrayal or there's betrayal. I'll say betrayal or some type of fracture that happens. 9 times out of 10, if it's a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker and that relationship is going to end. But what about your sister girls? What about your bestie that you've been besties with since sixth grade or 6 years old? What about her? What about that friendship? If there was ever something that happened, did you recover? Did you recover from it? Did you talk about it? Did you, like, what had to happen? Because when we break up with our SOs, we can need counseling, and if we even halfway consider getting back with them, it's like, now we need to do therapy in order for us to spin the block. But what about our besties? Do we do that when the relationship with our best friends or sister friends are fractured? Do we counsel it out? Do we talk it out? Do we um act like nothing ever happened? Um, I'll say this, that a lot of times when those fractures happen, when something happened and there's a break in that relationship, I believe everything happens for a reason. So a lot of times people take n- consciously, but people will take that time and grow themselves. It's like, oh, even if you like know what the problem was, people will take that time apart and grow themselves because it is a relationship. So like any other relationship, like when you break up with your guy, or your girl, whatever your situation, when you break up, when you have a breakup in your intimate relationships, it's like you reinvent myself and I'm gonna start that yoga class and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna learn karate and all of that. But with our sisters, what do we do? Do we carry on? Do we go try to better ourselves and get some things done, grow ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually? Are those things taking place as well when it's our sister friends? Um, and usually it is, even if it's not intentional, there's usually some growing going on. And that is a good thing. Not to say that relationship you need to, like, oh, take some time from your bestie. I'm not saying that, but usually there's some growth happening when you're by yourself. When you're not, you know, anticipating this weekend and going to lunch and going doing some retail therapy and all those things that you do with your sister friends. So some growth is definitely happening. Um I want to say, because we have friends that are lifelong friends, and then we have people in our lives that we might feel a little close to, but in all actuality, like, hey, I just met her like a year ago. She cool, we talk, we might even hang out a little bit, but is she really a friend? I had a friend say to me once that she was like, "You don't really make new friends." And I was like, "Why you can make?" She said, You can't really make new friends." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can." And she said, "No, because friendships, that type of when not loosely using the term friend, right? Not that. But a real friend is what we were talking about." And she was like, "You that don't just happen overnight. Those types of friendships, a true friendship is built. It's developed. It's worked and matured over time and years and experiences and you know what? When she said it like that, I did agree with her. And I'm like, you're right, because I wouldn't I might go to work and meet Sonia, and me and Sonia might be cool and we might hit it off and we might hang out. And she might come to my house and I might come to her house and she might say, "Yeah, that's my sis." And this but in the back of my mind, am I really, or even with my actions, am I really sharing my real stuff with her? Do I trust her? I don't. I don't. So it's funny because I did agree with her when she said that. She was like, "No, those type friends, true like hardcore friends, those are your friends from back in the day, that were like way back when." And I agree with her on that. So like I'm this is a podcast that I'm currently sitting in the middle of not having a friend. Really, not having. I don't feel like I have any friends. I've had friendships that started in middle school, or okay, I'll do you one better. I got one friend that she was my first friend, you know, preschool. I was in pre I was in kindergarten, she was in first grade. And we're still friends to this day. Now I do consider her a friend. Um a true friend. There's nothing I don't hide from her. I don't feel judged by her. Um I consider her, she's my longest friend. She's my oldest friend. My very first friend. And we pride ourselves on saying that. Like I still have my very first friend. So, but we've never really been that close. I can say that. We've always known each other. We've always been in touch with each other. Like I know she was there when my mom passed, her mom passed. She called me like her dad, and then, like all of these life events. We've always been in each other's lives that way. Always know, when I moved out of town, she came. When I was leaving town, I'm coming. I'm coming to see you before you leave. When I, whatever. She just always been there. We've always been in each other's lives, but not my best friend. You hear me? She's not my best friend. She's my first friend. So I sit here today. So I won't say I don't have any friends. I do, but I don't have any um, relationships. I don't have anything that is actively working. Um, I had one best friend over a span of decades. There was a fracture in the friendship. And for me, it's not the same. And it won't be. It won't ever be. I still talk to you. You still my sister. Um, you are, you know the little saying, your mother's best friend kids are your cousins. Our children are still cousins. you know, her kids are still my niece and nephew. My kids are still her niece. Like that thing is still there. But the relationship was fractured. And because it was, it won't ever be the same. Um, but I met people along the way. I've met people that are good people, sister girls, and but I don't have time to teach them how to treat me. I don't have time to pour my stuff or don't even know if I want to share stuff. I'm gonna share something with you. I'll share this. Now, this is a recent acquaintance. This is why I don't say friend. This is a recent acquaintance in the last year, maybe, or yeah, maybe the last year. I'm talking to her on the phone, and y'all ready for this? Talking to her on the phone, and at some point it got quiet. Just a little, like not silent, but just like I wasn't talking, she wasn't talking. The next thing I know, I hear my voice in her background. And at first it threw me off. But then it was going. I could hear my voice. Like I didn't catch what I was saying, but it was me. So I said, "What is that?" And she knew I knew what it was. I said, "What is that?" And she was like, "Girl," and that's what I said. I said, "Is that me talking?" And she was like, "Girl, you talking now? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that was." But it had stopped. But the moment I heard it, I knew what it was. You recording our conversation. And I know I do it. I got one too. My son put it on my phone. I got an app on my phone that will record the conversation. I don't know if my phone is currently recording every conversation that I'm on. At the time when he put it on there, I needed to have some conversations documented. Um and it is still on there. I just don't know if it's recording. I don't go back to see like did they just record him saying he loved me? I don't know. Um but this is somebody who calls me often. You call me to check in with me. You call me um to chit chat to tell me about your day. You call me to tell me what's going on with you. She got a situation going on. You keep me abreast of that situation. Um, but you recorded a conversation. And here's the thing, again, I have an app on my phone that is for those purposes. It records conversations. If it was innocent, if it was innocent, why not just say, girl, that's that app I got on my phone. It record conversation. So it must be done pick this conversation up. If it was innocent. You brushed it off. You was like, what? You talking now? I hear you now. I can hear you. This ain't what I'm talking about. It was from something that I said. It was me. It was me, my voice. And I'm like, okay, okay. This what we doing? Beat went on. We went on talking. I was like, you know what? Let me let you go. Or whatever I said. I got off the phone because it was it was like, what you doing? What are you doing? Right? Um, and I still didn't cut her off. I still did not cut her off. Continue to talk to her. Continue to talk to her. Um, like yeah. I just now cut her off though. I just now cut her off. But the thing is, I should have cut her off then, and I didn't. So I honestly gave you looking at something. I honestly gave you the time and opportunity to um to continue to show me your non-friendship or your lack of understanding of what it means to be in a sister friendship, like whatever you want to call it, like to try to make a friend or try to have an acquaintance that you can rely on or depend on, or we're in the kind of same situation. We're both foster parents. Let me just say that we're both foster. So like, to have somebody in this community that you can, like, hey, I need to bounce something off of you, or hey, this is happening, what do you think, or what do you suggest, something like that. You Right. So I gave you more time and more opportunity to continue to, um I don't know, I'm in the loss for words, that I gave her the time and opportunity to continue um to hurt the friendship that was being, I'll say relationship, the relationship that was being built with our common within our common ground of being foster parents. Because I no doubt, I do believe that had I not cut her off recently, that we would have definitely like had a very long term relationship in the foster care community, in this foster care community. So, but because I didn't cut her off, she continued to show me like, she ain't your person. She's not your person. You don't want to. Don't even go down that road with her, because you'll two things: make me act ugly with you, and I'm have it in me. Um, and now you've made me, or make me not like you, and that's where I'm at now. I like, who are you talking to? She Anyway. So yeah, so no, you're cut off. She's cut off. But I want to talk about the friendships. Um, when you when the friendship is fractured, and either it could be fractured because something happened, or it could just be fractured because somebody grew. One person grew, or one both of you, somebody grew and the other one didn't catch up, or you grew in different directions. Both people could have grown their own way, and it doesn't mean it was together this way. It could have been that way, right? Both people, I'm growing this way, you're growing that way. So we've grown apart, and it's okay. And now I think for me, I have to decide or figure out what to do with the pieces of the friendship that are still there, and that we still want to, and that we still want. um she made a comment that, um I'm glad we're back talking, you know. um and I am too. Sometimes I don't like the conversation though, because let's be past that. So what do you do? What do you do? It's so fun. It's interesting. It's interesting because it's like, but that's my girl. Yeah, and always will be. But that don't mean we have to talk every day. And I think I'm getting there. I think we're talking a lot because we spend so much time not talking, and it's like we want to almost reassure each other like, no, we're good. We're good. Um I think that's what's happening. And we don't have to. We don't have to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I was listening to an interview on Club Shay Shay with this girl. I'd never heard of her. Evidently, she's a comedian. Takara, Takara Williams. She's a comedian, and Shannon Sharp was asking her about relationships, and she made, oh my goodness, I don't know who she is, but I know I so identified with her in a lot of ways. But and Shannon too. But he asked her about dating, and she said the problem is the longer you've been single, the more you want to be by yourself. And that's kind of what it is. So, like I said, I don't have any friends, but I haven't had any. I haven't made any significant. I have any friendships here in Dallas. I've been here 13 years. I'm oh, that's not true. I've been here since 2013. Um, that is 13 years. Minus the 2 years that I moved back home to Cincinnati. That is okay. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm recording at night because that's the only time I have to myself. But I have not made one significant friendship here in Dallas, like sisterhood friendship. Not one. I've met people along the way. I met some wonderful people along the way. Co-workers, uh, summer program workers who kept my kids. Amazing people, amazing women doing amazing things, but nothing significant, nothing at all. Not one significant relationship. So that being said, this girl Takara, I think she said pronounced Takara Williams said, the longer you're single, and I know she was talking about intimate relationships, but it works just your bestie, that's a relationship you have. Understand that. And it has like all the things that you need to do in your relationship with your SO needs to be it's the same type of qualities that need to come in your friendships. But back to this. She said, the longer you're single by yourself, the more you want to be by yourself. And it's true. Because I don't every now and then I miss it. Every now and then. But this is how I get my reality check. When I moved back home to Cincinnati, so I'm down here in Dallas, and I'm like, oh, I miss my sisterhood. I miss the sisterhood. I miss my sister girl nights where I could call this one and call that one or call them all and come to my house and oh, y'all gonna tired of me. Sorry. Um, come to my house. Let's do it tonight. Let's bring some. I got some wine. I got whatever, whatever. Let's go. And those are the type of things that I would do in Ohio when I lived in before I left. Before I left. So when I'm here and I'm living and I'm like, yeah, I miss that. I miss my sisters. I miss my sisterhood, in Ohio. And I did. And then guess what happened? I moved back home to Cincinnati in 2021. I was there for 2 years and didn't have it. Didn't have it at all. I hung out with my cousin. I hung out with one friend a couple times. My cousins would have something going on. I hung out with them. I hung out with my sister a couple times, and I mean a couple times. Like, but I think it was, and I ended up explaining to my sister that I was like, but I've been by myself. I don't know how to be with other people. I've been by myself for a long time, and I felt like I owed her that because I know it's been a thing like me being away for her. So I felt like I owed her that. Like she's like, yeah, because you don't never come out. And I'm like, you know, nothing personal. I'm just used to being by myself. And I'm okay with being around other people, but it's not a first thought for me to let me see what so and so doing. That's not a thought for me. It's not. So the 2 years that I was there, I socialized very little, very little. I wanted to. It was a good idea, but I was so used to being by myself that it was easier for me to stay home. It was easier for me to grab me a bottle of wine and go in the house and, you know, um, chill out. And then on top of it, I wasn't fostering. I didn't have any kids. So my time was it was my time. It was my time. So it's like, what do you want to do? And I think I did the things that I wanted to. I was like, okay, y'all, let's go do the wine tasting. Oh, let's do something. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I did some things. I really did. I wasn't just in the house. But for the most part, it was a big case of you've been by yourself. That I had been by myself for so long. And I liked it. I liked being by myself. Even now, I like it. I like it because the things so this is what happens when two people grow apart. You grow apart, right? And then when you grow apart, like maybe in your thought process or your, oh, I've been working and whatever the case is. What happens is when you try to come back together, you're different. In whatever area you've grown, in whatever area they've grown, you come back now and you're a little different, right? Or so you see things a little differently. Like maybe you got in heavily into church and maybe they still drinking. So now you're looking at her like, oh, oh, but it used to be you. But now that you're over here with this lifestyle, I don't cuss, but they say I don't cuss, I don't chew and I don't hang around folks that do something like that. Like, okay, no, so that's not you anymore, but it used to be. And she's still there. Um, and you're not. So you're looking at her strange. And now she's looking at you strange because, oh, you a holy roller now, or you this or you that. And now you're different. So now guess what happens? Judgment sets in. Right. Now we're judging. And in order for us not to judge, then we got to take the focus off of us. So, in order for me not to judge you being a holy roller, and in order for you not to judge me being drunk, now let's talk about Shantae, right? So, now we're going to gossip, right? You okay with gossiping? You just don't want to hear me cussing. You okay with gossip? You just, ooh, girl, is that you going to have another drink? But we don't move from Shantae, gossiping about Shantae, to gossiping about your husband's sister. You okay with that though? Right. So it's that. It's easier from and I'm y'all know I'm telling my business. But I'm interested in really just I'm not if you want to comment, please comment. I'll come back and look at it. But I do check for comments. But it's interesting how the relationships change and we don't change with them. We don't make the necessary adjustments in our friendships that we would our sisterhood friendships that because it's a relationship and usually it's been longer than you with your SO. You might have just got married 3 years ago, but she been your bestie since sixth grade, you know? But we don't make those adjustments in our sister girl relationships, our sister girl friendships. We'll make them, and we don't make those concessions. Like we'll make up a lie for our man, knowing good and well it was him. It was him, knowing good and well that's his baby. But we'll be like, girl, mm-mm. But we can't give that same grace to our sister friends who that the relationship and the bonds are really stronger than probably the strongest, one of the strongest relationships or bonds you'll have is your best friend. And if it's been a long stretch of time, for sure one of your heaviest relationships. But whether it's fractured or just grew apart, I think they are important. Um, I think we just have to learn how to fix them when they get broken. Let's where's the cast? Where's the what's the wrap? Let's wrap it up. Let's fix it when they get fractured. I know I'm a person that I'm like, you know what? I ain't did nothing to her. I'm cool. I'm cool on you. I'm cool on her. I'm that chick. Um, I am. I'm that girl. I ain't not that I won't listen. If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I'm probably got an attitude because I know I didn't do anything to you. Um, but deep down, I'm glad we're talking. And if you okay with not talking about it, because sometimes nothing did happen, is that you know of. I'm speaking for myself. If I don't know about it and you just took something and maybe ran with it and should have asked questions and didn't ask a question, or you thought something and didn't clarify it with me or let me confirm, whatever, whatever. If I don't know about it, I'm cool with not knowing. I remember watching back when I used to watch, I call it smut TV. Back when I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was somebody beefing with Candy, and Candy was like, if you got a problem with me and I don't know what the problem is, no, what did she say? She said, if me and you got a problem and I don't know that we got a problem, then we don't have a problem. You have a problem. That makes sense. Me and you got a problem. Oh, we got a what's the problem? If I don't know what the problem is, that means I don't have a problem. You got a problem. Right. So if it's one of those situations, keep it. We ain't got to talk about it. We don't have to talk about anything. Hey, girl, how them kids? Cause I missed them. I missed so and so birthday, didn't I? Uh huh. I remember. She turned 12. Okay. Tell her I got her something coming. Don't worry about it. I don't know. Y'all can tell y'all probably can tell I'm in the middle of a sister girl friendship thing. One girl barely know you, but we do talk often. But I had to cut her off. I'm either gonna cut you off or cut you out. And I'm trying not to be that chick. And another one, you got a problem. You always got a problem with me. You don't have to say nothing. So how I'm supposed to know? And what's the problem? My mouth is like this. That's probably the problem. You say too much. I say too much. Hmm. I probably won't publish this. If I do, it's gonna be a miracle. I probably just need to vent. Anyway, this your girl Lady V. Long walk in high heels. Sisterhood, friendships, besties, sister girls, sister circles, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes they stronger than our intimate relationships. They're more meaningful. They let it get fractured. Definitely more painful. When it's over, when something happens and the friendship ends, it's definitely more painful than than when you break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. We break up with our boyfriend and I call them sorry parties. We have sorry parties, breakup parties, whatever. You get dressed up, you get with your girls, and you go out and you on the prowl again. You out what mingle and single and mingle and whatever. And you ready for the next guy. It's not like that with your sister girls. It's not. It's not like that. Your sister girl, you and her fall out heavy. you somewhere in a puddle of tears for a very long time. Depression setting in. And sometimes it don't have to get to that. Sometimes it's not even a breakup. Sometimes it's just a we don't talk anymore. I haven't talked to her. I don't know, and everybody's asking, when last how so and so did it? We don't talk. We haven't talked to him. It's been almost 2 years now, that type thing. So this your girl, Lady V. Long walk in high heels. Our sister girl friendships. What do you do when they get fractured? How do you handle it? Is it is it worth handling? In a sense that is it worth saying something if there's been a um an infraction, uh or if there's just some ghosting happening? Oh, we just stopped talking. Is it worth putting in a phone call like, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. Or do you act like nothing happened? Do you talk about it? Do you not talk about it? Are you just happy that it's back? Like, do you hug it out and say, I'm sorry, I don't know what I did, but please know that you like what is your process? Because I've been through it a few times. And it's just we talk like nothing happened. Once something was said and it left me more disturbed with the situation than I was before I knew what it was. Like I just thought you stopped talking and then you said why? And I'm like, that they definitely mean something to us for sure. Mean a lot. A lot. And they definitely worth saving. Yes, they are. Nurturing, mending, whatever. This your girl, Lady V. Long walking high heels, sister girl friendships, and I am out.